The effects of using apps. Using maps just to drive down the street. The need for psychological cleansing. The addiction of our electronics and constantly grabbing your phone for dopamine hits. What effects does this have on us, and what effects does this have on our children? The behavior of children ever so changing. How much gaming is enough? And our young people having the highest amount of depression than all other generations before us. This is
So with that said, right, not just the fact that the availability of apps are allowing us to be more lazy, be more stupid. I mean, people are having groceries delivered to your house through a freaking app, right? And with this particular service, right, you're having groceries delivered to your house. If the individual who is getting your groceries, which is probably most likely an individual who's making minimum wage because it's coming from a food store, this individual, if they don't find what is on your list, they give you something similar. And really doesn't even have to be if they don't find what's on the list. Really, if it's a matter of if they just get tired of looking, right? They're going to put something in your cart that is of equal quality according to their standard in some way, shape, or form. So, with that said, you're not going to get exactly what you want. But hey, I think a lot of people are going to be satisfied for the simple fact that hey, well, at least I didn't have to go out of my house. At least I didn't have to go down to the store, right? Another another way that this is making us incredibly stupider is the fact that when it comes to maps, it's like people nowadays, instead of actually having to memorize where to go and how to get to certain places, individuals are just plugging in that GPS on their phone. I mean, how do you live in the same city for a couple of years and you can't even go down the road without plugging something in an app? I mean, it's absolutely positively ridiculous. You know, I've fall victim of this too before, uh, but not as bad as others. I mean, I remember in 2015, for example, 2015, um, I had the pleasure of being in a situation where I had hit rock bottom. So I was in a position where financially, for a period of time period, I didn't even have a phone, and it felt good. It actually felt absolutely positively good not to have a phone. You don't have to worry about notifications popping up. You don't have to worry about people calling you. You just live life. You have clear mind. You get to think. You get to read. You don't have to worry about anything. Uh, I advise everybody to, at some point in your life, go a month of detoxing from internet and electronics. You will absolutely positively see how good it feels to not have the psychological burden of being attached to these electronics, right? Because believe it or not, I don't know if individuals notice it, but throughout the day, there are time periods where you just randomly grab your phone and just turn it on and just check, just to see if there's any type of notification or something going on, just because you're psychologically used to that, right? It's like it's you're micro dosing dopamine hits in your brain all day. This is what you're doing. Oh, let me hit that. Boom, dopamine hit, right? And so the implications that this has, for example, on adults is bad. But imagine the implications that this has on young people, such as children, for example. You know, it has been shown that the technology and internet has detrimental effects on children. because you have to understand when it comes to children, their frontal cortex is at a very vulnerable stage of development. And when it comes to children, for example, um, very, very young children, the ability to be exposed to human behavior is vital. That is the number one way that children, babies, toddlers are learning, right? They're learning from our voice. They're taking mumbles. They're taking sounds that are turning into mumbles that are soon created into words, right? And they're doing that through human interaction, right? Children are crying. A lot of adults think, oh, well, they're crying. We don't want to spoil them. No, they're crying because of the fact that they are needing human touch, human interaction, and the psychological development when it comes to children, it comes to babies, is continually growing when they are exposed to the parents, human behavior, human interaction, caring, love. This is all part of human development, right? So when it comes to these technological tools, these technological things, these technological advancements, this is not occurring through a phone. A phone is not capable of doing this, right? Um, they showed that, especially amongst children before the ages of 13, how detrimental that electronics and devices are on the human behavior, on the human psyche, that is detrimental on the frontal cortex development. Uh, Not only that, they showed when it comes to teens, for example, ninth graders from a study, I think it was 2016, 2017, 2015, or 18, something like that, around there. There was a study between 2015, 2019, somewhere in there, where they did a study on ninth graders. And they showed on the study with ninth graders that they were having 40% less sexual activity than ninth graders in 1991. Now, while we could argue that that may be a good thing, and I guess possibly that could be a good thing. We could argue about that all day long, but uh, from what we know, that's absolutely positively a negative thing, based on the reason why. And the reason why is because of the fact that technology has made young people more socially advanced with each other, that the interactions and psychological desires to want to engage socially and engage in natural desires of sexual activity amongst young individuals has increasingly diminished into, apparently in some categories, almost nothing.
Hello, hello. Oh, you don't like real girls. Well, I'm always here.
Due to the, the dulling of psychological desires through things like smartphones and social media. So this right here there has psychological and disastrous viewpoints, for young people as a whole. Um, uh, they're showing that less than an hour of gaming, for example, could have some positive psychological effects on kids and young people. But they're showing that as gaming has become more advanced and increasing, and different systems becoming more equipped with more high tech features that have created more desire amongst young people, has allowed young people to be on gaming systems way longer than 1 hour. And obviously, this is causing a lot of social and psychological issues for youth as they grow into young adolescent adults. Um, so there's a lot of implications here that are showing how um, the negative effects that this is having on young individuals. Um, Social media has shown to increase unhappiness amongst young individuals by almost 60%. While there was a study, and I wish I could absolutely positively remember the exact source, but I can't right at this second. There was a there is a statistic showing that the young people of this society or are the most depressed, the most sad, and have the highest amount of anxiety than any other generation of the same age ever in existence. And when I look at that, it makes absolutely positively no sense to me. How, first of all, how is it that the young generation is, for example, more depressed than any other generation of the same age category from previous times when this is the greatest time ever to be alive? First. Second of all, how is it that young people are more depressed than older people? You as a young person, you don't have any bills. You have a little job. You don't have your own place, your own property. You don't have extreme amount of bills. You might have a little bill or something like a little cell phone or a little car insurance or some, if that. Your parents are probably paying for it. Um, Maybe a little $500 Capital One credit card that you might have that you might be building credit with, and even a 500, even if you had it maxed out, $500 to take care of as a bill is absolutely positively nothing. I mean, what possibly could be going on in your life that is causing you extreme amounts of psychological uh, dysphoria? It makes absolutely positively no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. It absolutely positively means that the young people of our generation of this time are absolutely positively completely disconnected from reality. They're completely disconnected from correct goals, ideologies, mentalities that they should be having, striving for as young people. Like I tell individuals around me all the time, this internet and social media stuff isn't real. And people say, oh, what do you mean it's not real? It's not real in the sense that putting pictures of you all over the internet is not it's not your life, right? Saving up money to go on a trip, to post 30 pictures of you standing behind some scenic background is not any type of implication of your life. It does not show what you've gone through, what you're going through, or what you're about to go through. But us as people, especially young individuals, we look at that as if that is your life, that's everything. And no, that's an illusion. That's a facade. Especially when you have individuals who are great at taking photos, great at taking pictures. They actually use those particular situations to make a panoramic portrait that is absolutely false of their life. It is a joke. It is fake. Don't get sucked into it. It is facade. The only thing that is absolutely positively reality and is of the highest importance in life is your friends, your family, and the ones immediately closest to you. Everything else has nothing to do with you. Everything else is a facade. What is going on in the news, great. Look at it, take it for a grain of salt, and throw it out. Because the fact that somebody got blown up somewhere halfway across the world has no implication on what you should be doing in your life, and it is not directly affecting you at all. What you need to be focused on is you, your family, your life. Not focusing on what 10,000 other people online on the internet are doing. All that's going to do is cause you depression, because that's why you're depressed. That's why you're depressed. Forget about what all those people are doing. It's not important. You don't know them. You'll never meet them, and you'll never ever see them ever in life. Forget about it. What you need to be focused on is you yourself. Put the phones down Put the damn phones down, put the internet down, and work on your goals, work on your relationship with your family, take care of your kids, work on your life. You. Put the internet crap down. The apps are making you dumb. The internet is making you stupid. You want to be successful, start by working on yourself, not the internet and not all what are celebrities doing. It's not important. The apps are making you dumb. The apps are making you dumb. The internet is causing your children to have mental problems. The internet and the apps and the social media is causing your children to not even know how to talk to each other. And it's increasingly decreasing their natural instinctive desires in life, such as normal things such as adult intimate interactions with each other. They're not even desiring that anymore. You know why? Because you got a dopamine machine. You have a dopamine machine. Why would I want, as a young person nowadays, if I was 12, if I was 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, why would I naturally want to desire to have a girlfriend and let that lead to something beautiful and natural and instinctive in life? Why would I want that in life when I have a dopamine machine right at my fingertips? Dopamine. Why would I even want to? Why would I want to do any type of interaction? I have a dopamine machine right here. Absolutely, positively ridiculous. So, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you stay tuned and subscribe to me on Patreon if you're not already doing it. And if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and, like I said, keep watching us there. We're also on Patreon. Make sure you subscribe there, become a member, and stay tuned to the next video, next podcast. Thanks.
There's a lot of emotional information out there. If you want factual, epistemic information, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to AR Media Institute. See you on the next video.